Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of the Golf Strong podcast. My name is Dr. Jackson Taylor, down here in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Joined, as always, by my currently drenched in rain from Hurricane Ida colleague, Dr. Tim Ravoto. You guys underwater?
Yeah, you're going to trigger me. I'm just praying and hoping that we can play golf this weekend. Everywhere's closed today.
I'm going to go with 30% chance.
I'm going to go with yes. Guys are working hard. Turf crew's working hard.
They're out there. Hey, this is the unfortunate par train posted the other day on the unfortunate truth about living in the Northeast.
Yep.
You're coming down to the end.
Yep. And it's been a rough summer, dude. We've gotten so much rain. So we're hoping for a big fall golf season. Fall golf is beautiful golf. You know, it's pants and quarter zip season. It's a beautiful time of year.
Yeah.
We're going to get it all in. And then hopefully, I don't know, no snow until January. That's what we're looking for.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Anyways, how's your week going?
Lucky. We're good, man. We're good. No complaints down here. Good golf. Weather's been a little bit cooler. Been able to get out a couple of nights. Had some breeze, like 88 degrees, 87 degrees.
Lovely.
It's the stuff. It's the stuff of legends. Like you said, all your problems are solved. All you got to do is move here.
It's true. I was talking to a lady at the gym. She just moved down there. She was like, yeah, it's the land of dreams and opportunity. Screw LA. Florida.
Come on down. Florida. Field of dreams, city of dreams, beautiful beaches, beautiful people, great food, golf all year round.
What's better? Nothing.
No idea.
Nothing.
Great breweries, good beer everywhere. Shout out to Southern Swells, which is right over next to me. Everything.
Make a good IPA.
All of them. They're famous, or their most popular one's called Karate in the Garage.
Love it.
They've got T-shirts with like a hop, and it's got like the headband on it, like Karate Kid, but it's a hop. It's awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So fantastic. Bring the dog over there. It's great.
Fantastic.
Get me excited here. All right. So we're mostly going to talk a little golf shop today. A little bit of a divergence from our normal strength and conditioning conversation, although we'll plug it in here and there. But we mostly want to talk about some of the drama in golf right now and our opinions on it and what we think about it. A little bit about Cantlay's win this past weekend, and obviously right now the championship's going on. So we'll talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit about Koepka and Bryson, put our 2 cents in about that foolishness, mostly everyone's response to it and how foolish that is.
Yes, golf.
And then whatever happens after that.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, it's playoff season. It's fun. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Yeah. I have not recently caught up on the leaderboard. Have you?
Yeah, we have Cantlay up there. We have, oh man, I was just looking at it. Justin Thomas is up there. Cam Smith is up there. Finau's up there, obviously.
All right, here we go. Cantlay's 12 under. John Rahm's 9 under. Harry English is 8. Hovland's at 7. Kevin Na's at 6. Answer
right.
6. Cam Smith 6. JT is at 6. Bryson's at 6. Horschel 5. Koepka 5. Ooh, Koepka and Bryson. Right there next to one another. Like it. DJ got up to 5. He started off the day couple over, I think, on his first couple holes, but he's bounced. Spiethy's at 5. Louis at 5. Finau's at 5. Oh, he started the day at 8 too. Okay.
Wow. So he's over. A couple guys are over.
And dead last, Hideki Matsuyama at 6 over.
The good thing, though, about this week, you finished dead last. You win $365,000. That's not bad, huh?
What a tragedy.
Not bad.
Tragedy. So what did you think? What did you think of Cantlay this past weekend? It was a hot topic.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I mean, I'm not a huge Cantlay fan. I don't know why. Like, I don't really have a reason.
screwed me twice this year when I've picked him. So
to me, it's just vanilla ice cream, man. He's just like, whatever, ho hum. Like physically, he's just kind of like, you know. And then like, you know, he doesn't really have an expression on his face. He doesn't really say much. So I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
It's like mashed potatoes. Like I'll eat it, but I mean, you could do a little,
a
spice
little
it up
butter, little chives.
Yeah,
you know, we could use right.
Yeah, but his play was awesome. I mean, it was especially on those longer holes, the par fives, any driver hole, you could see the distance difference. Like especially in the playoff,
it was huge
on 18.
Huge.
I mean, it was definitely an advantage for Bryson to be hitting. You know, he was hitting from about 150 out on that 18th, 145, 150, and Cantlay was usually around like 180, 190.
Oh,
so,
easy.
I mean, I don't know about you. For me, that's the difference between like a pitching wedge and a like six iron if it's 190, 7-iron if it's 180. I mean, that's a big club difference.
Yeah, that's massive. I was trying to think about. They talked about how many feet of putts Cantlay made in the playoff. It was like something foolish.
I want to say it was around like 50.
Yeah, it was really. I think for the tournament it was like 200. Okay. No, I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Like 200 something total feet of putts made. But like you said, it was just nuts.
Yeah, and that was the difference. I mean, he got up and down and made putts, and Bryson just missed like those 6-footers.
Yeah,
it was wild. I mean, I kept looking at him like, well, like he's gonna make one of these, and he did make one on the par 3, but so did Cantlay. He was inside of him, and it was just over.
Yeah, and I mean, a part of this is just DeChambeau. Cantlay winning it for sure, but DeChambeau just getting in his own head again. Like you had him doing the whole like eye roll thing when he was marking his ball a couple of times during the tournament, and just some of the stuff he says, you're like, I don't know if any of that makes any difference. Like you're trying to win a tournament. I'm going to mark everything if I want to mark it. I'm trying to win.
Yeah. And those reactions are really telling because he's always blaming something, right?
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, I hit a bad shot or, you know, I was doing something stupid. It's always like, oh, that putt, you know, he's looking at the hole like, why didn't it fall? Or, you know, he's looking at his caddy like, oh, we had the wrong distance. It's like, oh, dude, take some ownership. The course doesn't always screw you, man.
Yeah. On a course where they finished, 26 under?
Yeah. At one point, they were at like 28 or something. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Can we talk about how I hope it's not that way this week? Like Eastlake needs to whoop these guys.
And I think it will. It's tight. It's small greens. So I think it will. I mean, I if they're starting at 10, that's the only thing, you know. I hope maybe it's like a couple under every day and you finish around like 18 under, 15 to 18.
Right, but for the tournament though, like even right now, 2, 3, 4. The best today is 3 under.
Yeah, I mean that's
5 under. I'm sorry, Billy Horschel's 5 under. Okay. Couple of 4s, 3 4s, and a 5. Now they've still got some of these guys still have a couple holes left, but still, I mean, 5 under is a good day, but that's a normal day as opposed to like 13.
Yeah, I mean 60. It is lift clean in place, but Bryson 60 is kind of like if guys are shooting 60, I mean that's a little crazy.
Foolish. But
also here, so Cantlay, how over the 4 days, not including the playoffs, how many feet of putts do you think he made?
Ooh, shoot, I have no idea. I feel like I would butcher it.
Over under 300.
Oh, there's no way he was over 300.
There sure is, dude. He was 537 feet of putts.
Did you say 537 feet?
In 4 rounds. 500. It's an average of 134 feet per round. That's insanity. No 3 putts. He made 2 20-footers to keep holes alive coming down the stretch. I mean, that's insane.
That's foolish.
Yeah.
Did you pull that from 537 feet? I would have never Maybe I'm just not that good about putting distance, but that's right. 537 feet and 5 inches.
It's insane. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, if you have 18 holes and on every hole you're making a 10-foot putt, that's 180 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's making about that. That's crazy.
And he used his new Scotty Cameron Phantom X5 too.
Yeah, I have a friend who has that. He loves it.
I've got the X7.
I'm a blade guy. I don't know. I'm a blade guy.
Of course you are, Grandpa. No 3 putts. And it's talking about, this is on golf.com, how he used the new alignment tactic.
Oh.
Interesting. Used a line on his ball, but only in very specific situation. I use it on shorter putts if they don't have very much break, Cantlay said. I thought it just maybe got me a little more specific on the really straight short putts. I don't use it on very many putts, but I think it's helping a little bit on 3 to 5 footers. Indeed, from 3 to 5 feet this week, he was a perfect 41 for 41.
Look at that. This winter, my swing coach was like, when you putt, do you use the line? I'm like, no. It's like, that's stupid. Use it. It's one less thing you have to think about. Just line it up and hit it. Oh, yeah, good idea.
Sure. And then you hear from somebody else that it doesn't work, and then you hear from somebody else that doesn't work. And
yes.
Whatever. Golf gods will yell at you.
No matter what you do. So, no, I thought it was great. It's good to I mean, I was rooting against Bryson, but he definitely held his own. He just didn't make any putts. Like, that's...
Yeah.
When you're bombing it like that, you have to hit it close to the hole. Like, if you're going to be 60 yards ahead of guys, you have to stick it close, and you have to make putts.
Absolutely. I mean, was it the Masters where Longer was driving the ball like 80 to 100 yards shorter, but was up by like 8 or 9 strokes?
Yeah.
Something foolish like that. I mean, his distance does matter. There's no, I mean, especially as it compares to money, we know that the further you drive the ball, those top 20 guys are the top 20 on the money earning list. So that distance matters, but you've got to be able to then, like you just said, put it close, make those putts, because guys like Cantlay come out of left field and make 530 feet of putts.
It's crazy. I mean, everyone can hit driver pretty much on the tour, right? It's just like a matter of how far and what your miss is. So then, I mean, at that point, everything's even pretty much off the tee. It's just, like you said, distance matters, but I don't know. I'll take a hot putter any day.
Yeah. I mean, depends on the day. But now it's time to pivot. Let's talk about Bryson, because this is all the hot stuff. And again, I will from the get-go here, I did not start off as a golfer. I still wouldn't call myself like this crazy avid, like I'm a 7-day-a-week golf guy. Like, I play golf a few days a week. I love it. I coach people. It's what I do for training. I came from all the other sports: football, basketball, baseball, track, all the AAU teams, all that stuff. And so they're obviously, relative to golf, they're all very different. And so heckling being one of the things that's different about all those. Like, I can remember being in high school playing like high school ball, and someone's calling you like a piece of shit. You're a pansy. Nice shot, Phyllis. Where's your tampon? Like, just, you're like 16 years old with people screaming at you for this stuff. And you just have to whatever, just like block it out. And like, your coaches would always tell you like, hey, don't listen to that stuff. Like, use it as fuel. Just like, let it drive you. And golf is, let me put it like this. Professional golf is not that way, but like playing golf with your buddies, you talk shit the whole time.
Oh yeah.
All of it. The whole, like, oh, nice putt, Alice. Did your wife play? Like, you're making fun of people the whole time. So it's just so funny to me that this has become like a thing on the PGA Tour. Like, oh, calling him Brooksie it's mean and it's rude and it's going to affect his mental health. And okay, you made a comment earlier, not on here, but before, about Trevino, like, who just used to be like a giant shit talker, but when they would play, like during the match, like, nobody's yelling at Trevino right now for yelling at Nicklaus.
Yeah. And they used to hate playing with each other, right? Like, Jack Nicklaus would say, I don't want to get paired up with Lee because he's not going to stop talking the whole time and you can't get away from him. But they were still friendly off the course. Like, it's just like that's how he is on the. Everyone's trying to win a tournament. There's a lot of, especially today, there is a lot of money on the line, and I mean that's sport. That's competition. You have to, like, some of these guys have side action going during tournaments.
Yeah.
There are certain people who are notorious for that. And it's like, these guys need competition. They're athletes. They're, in a way, like addicts to that. They're like adrenaline junkies. They get the adrenaline from standing over a putt, a $5,000 putt, or in some cases a $500,000 putt.
Yeah. It's the truth.
So, I mean, you're going to get that stuff. I know Michael Douglas said he played with Michael Jordan, and he used to do stuff like that, like take his glove off while you're over the ball. Yeah. And one time he asked him to stop, and Jordan was like, "If I can shoot a free throw with 20,000 people screaming at me, you can hit a shot with me taking my glove off."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. I think as an outsider looking in, like in the golf world, like I'm reading all this stuff on Golf Digest and golf.com, and everyone's like, this is bad for the sport. And Brooks needs to come out and like tell everybody to stop because this is affecting the game. And we've got all these drunk people that are yelling and, this, that, and the other thing. And I guess I understand it. You want to keep it as a classy, elegant game. And that's what we want. But again, speaking as someone who came into the sport later on, to be honest, I think it makes it fun. It gives it a little flavor. Like that's one of the things, like if you go to any big sporting event, like we go to hockey games, Tim and I are Bruins fans, like big time Boston Bruins fans, and the Patriots and the Sox, but like we love the Bruins. I am screaming at the other team the whole time I'm there. I see any player, I am telling him that he sucks, he's the worst, and probably some other things that shouldn't be spoken on podcast land because I'm not Joe Rogan yet. It'll happen eventually. But still, like you're saying all of these things to get in their heads. It's not that I don't like the guy. Like obviously in golf, it's different because it's quiet. Right. So when someone speaks, it's obviously louder. But like after, it'd be different if, to your point, like in the midst of Bryson shot, someone's like, Brooksie, before he hits the ball. Like, yeah, that's stupid. But like after he's like, good shot, Brooksy. Okay.
That's like a little poke in the ribs, That's like your friend, that's like you hitting, that's you topping your drive 50 yards and your buddy going, that was a good play. Like,
didn't see that one.
That's just what you do. Like
you poke fun, but because they're professionals and because they play, like one of the reasons that people are getting into the game of golf, it's outside, it's fun. You can go drink with your friends. And this is all just being honest. Like people don't have to like this or not like this, but that's a huge thing. You get to go out with your buddies, drive the golf carts around, hit the ball, tell stories, shoot the breeze. And it's fun. It's what makes it fun. But a part of that is heckling each other. Like that's the whole fun. Like you just said, you top a drive 50 yards, you put it in the water. You're like, it's a good idea. I didn't really think about that. I'm going to try that next time. Can you tell me how you did that? Was it with a slice? Because it was nice. Nice. I'll take a slice of that next time. All right. I'll see you over here. My ball's dead straight. It's fun. That's what makes it fun.
That's it. And there is etiquette to golf, right? So you don't say stuff in people's backswings. You don't, maybe at certain points, like if you're on a fun day and you're just like, not playing competitively, but when there's a tournament, there are rules, like there's an etiquette. Correct. As long as those are followed, I mean, after when people are walking to holes, that's on you as a professional athlete, professional golfer to be able to focus on what you need to do and tune out everything else, right? Tune out the people screaming at you at the free throw line, or, if you're kicking a field goal and the stadium's going crazy, the other team calls a timeout and tries to ice you. Like that's all part of the game. That's all you've got to have the mental strength, and the focus ability to get yourself on the task. And it was pretty clear that Bryson's got to work on that, right? Especially like when Cantlay was walking behind him. And he's literally behind, like you cannot see him. Maybe you could make an argument that he could hear the clubs rattling if the caddy was walking, but I don't know. It wasn't in the picture.
No.
But it's just like, dude, if you're over the ball, the guy's behind you, and you just know he's walking because you saw before you got over the ball, like just hit your shot. That's not gonna affect you. If it is affecting you, you've got to work on your focus.
I would agree completely. But we've also, I mean, we have this age now too, where everything is like, has to be softened. Everything has to be softened. Nobody can be mentally tough. Nobody can be mentally strong. Like, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And that's not, we don't want to do that. So let's not, and I'm not making light of people having like mental difficulties with things, but pro sports might not be your thing.
Yeah, you're in the public spotlight. Like,
you're in the public spot. You can't get out of it.
Yeah.
It's not like, if I'm not a good public speaker, I probably shouldn't go run for office locally. I'm going to have to talk about certain things.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is. So we're not going to adjust the game based on a person who's like, oh, well, I don't want to do that, or I don't have to do this. Certainly you don't have to go over the top with any of it, but people are made fun of all the time, constantly. They have pressure on them all the time. Like Phil and Tiger playing together. They're going to talk some crap to one another. So if Tiger doesn't like it, do we just stop the tournament? Is Phil fired?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, they're going to just keep playing on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't buy into all of it. I think they have to keep the etiquette of the game safe, but I mean, yeah,
this to me is like at one of the clubs I used to play at, there was always like two guys who, if you said, did you golf this weekend? They would get mad at you. They'd be like, you don't golf. You play golf. You don't say like, I went and basketballed. I went and they're like, you play basketball, you play golf. And to me, it's like, like that just doesn't matter to me. It's the same thing with this stuff. Like, if you're going to talk a little shit between shots, it doesn't really, like, it's just, you're like nitpicking at this point,
Well, it's trying. I mean, I get they want to keep it separate. They want golf to be this upper echelon, high level sport where everything is prim and proper. It's the same thing with people having like the fits about wearing hoodies.
Yeah.
Or wearing joggers.
Yeah.
All of those kind of things. Like, that's people having fits about that because it doesn't fit the classic mentality of golf and all this stuff. And so to me, that's kind of the same thing. Like, it's adapting, it's evolving. And obviously I'm over at Sawgrass Country Club and I've got patients to talk about this, and they've been playing golf for their whole lives. They're 80 years old, whatever. They're like, it's just not good for the game that people are doing this. And I kind of was like, hey, you're going to see times change. Like, younger people aren't going to show up in a suit to the country club.
Right. It's
just not the way it is. Different fashions, different ways they do things. They're there to have some fun. Like, it's just different. So instead of demonizing it for being different, why aren't we finding ways to assimilate that and kind of make it fun? Because that's your next group of golfers. And if you convince them that they're just not good enough or they're not of this upper class, they're going to go find something else to do, which they will happily go do. I'd rather see people playing golf. Absolutely. And we just adapt to the way that some people want to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a new world. You've got a $40 million bonus for player impact, as far as like fan engagement and social media and that sort of thing. So if you're going to reward being in the public spotlight or engaging with fans and that sort of thing, I mean, some of this stuff's going to happen.
Absolutely. And that's the idea.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's great. I think because every other sport has that. Every other sport has that aspect of player impact, or it has that aspect of like getting people involved. But like, you see stories all the time of people. Good examples are like Tom Brady goes to another town.
Oh yeah.
And someone walks up to him and is like, gives him a deflated football.
Yeah. Happens all the time.
It's just like, okay, whatever. Like, cool. Like, I think it would be fun if people did that in golf. Like, some guy comes to your city and you're just like, I'm not a huge fan of this. Now, this is an important point, which I just thought of. There are no cities associated with golf. Like, these guys are from different parts of the country. Like Boston, like, we are Boston sports people. We love all of Boston sports, all the New England sports. Those are our thing. Like, that is your tribe. That's your fandom. Golf isn't really that way. Obviously, this is mano y mano for the most part. So I do understand some of the like, well, I'm team Brooks and I'm team Bryson or whatever, but that's you picking them based on things you like about them, not just because, geographically we're from the Northeast.
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting time. I think it's good. It's going to be interesting this week with I guess Steve Stricker's going to have a dinner for the Ryder Cup auto qualifier. So it'll be Brooks and Bryson. It'll be Cantlay, who else? Justin Thomas, and I think Morikawa.
Yep.
So that'll be an interesting dinner. I'd like to be a fly on the wall there.
I would like to do that. I would like to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, so for me, I only care about them playing nice for the Ryder Cup. It's the Ryder Cup. Now, in this case, totally different. We're Team USA.
Exactly. We
are Team USA. End of story.
And I think they will be too. If you're a professional, you should be able to put that stuff aside,
Right.
And just maybe you don't pair them up on, best ball day and that sort of thing. But I mean, everyone's trying to win at that point, right? And you're both pretty good golfers, so.
And at night, if you grab a cocktail and you poke some fun at one another, so be it.
Right, that shouldn't be a big deal. We'll see if it is, because it
I don't
seems.
know if it will, I mean,
it just seems like Bryson's kind of the sensitive. He wants to be a cool kid, but he never was. He was the nerdy, study kid. And he doesn't quite know how to handle the ribbing, like the locker room kind of chirping and that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I've heard from many people that he is a super nice guy. He's a great friend, just a great friend, but he has very few of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's not the guy. I've heard that he's great though. But again, in the spotlight, you're going to get some things said about you. There's going to be people that come after you, especially when you, I don't want to say act differently than everybody else, but when you bring up stuff like, hey, why are you walking behind me? Hey, rolling your eyes when you pick up a 2-foot putt and mark it. Things like that are going to get you attention that you might not like.
Yeah. And I mean, you said it, you're in the public spotlight. So you can't, I'm sure he's not a bad guy if you just go have dinner with him. But at the same time, if you can't, if you get mad that a camera's on you because you hit a bad shot and they want to see your reaction, and you potentially will get paid, $1 million for winning this tournament. I think you just got to suck it up and live with the fact that they're going to get you on camera slamming a club or swearing or whatever.
Something. Yeah. And we can kind of talk about that a little bit too. I do not like the idea of hot mics.
I don't either.
Specifically being used against people for the rest of their lives.
Right. I don't either.
I'm not about that. People say shit all the time when they're playing, when they're doing stuff. You stub your toe, you're MFing everyone around you. That just happens. And again, they're in the spotlight. So obviously there's something to that. You have to be conscious of what you're saying, but you don't have to record it and then send it out to everybody.
Yeah. No. And I support the miking up, right? They've talked about miking certain players up, and if guys are volunteering, yeah, sure, I'll do it, whatever.
Yes,
that's great. Putting a microphone in the cup so it picks everything up, or putting having all these cameras with live mics. I don't know. In the heat of the bat, I wouldn't want a microphone on the basketball rim, listening to Kevin Garnett talk shit to somebody, telling them what their wife is in bed and doing and all sorts of terrible things, about their health or their mother.
And that's 100% what people do. If you, I don't care what anybody says. And if any athlete says that hasn't happened, they clearly didn't play sports. That's a quick tell. I can remember being on the bottom of football piles. Everything under the sun is being said about your mom, your sister, your small pecker, you name it. It's coming out at you, and you can either get pissed about it or not. It's just, that's sports. They're trying to get in your head. They're going to mess with you. They're going to screw you. And the people that succeeded were mentally whatever. I took all that and I was just man, that guy's a prick. Touchdown pass. Suck it. I'm going to leave now. That's just the way it was. Yeah. So to think that it's again, like if you heard like Kevin Garnett, or if you heard how some of these guys talk, Tom Brady, the worshipped Tom Brady, now that he's in Tampa Bay. When he was in New England, everybody hated him. He's in Tampa Bay now. He's Jesus.
He's the man.
Like that dude talks all sorts of shit.
Oh yeah, big time. And you're lying to yourself if you think he's not.
Oh yeah, completely full of crap. That's just the way sports are. Like it's just people talking crap. You don't like it? Go underwater basket weave or something.
That's it. Do something else. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see how it develops. And I just hope. I mean, I'm all for throwing people out if they're being, disruptive and obnoxious and disrespectful. But calling someone the wrong name is not in my book as far as disrespect or belligerence goes. That's just someone having some fun and trying to get under your skin, which it sounds like works.
What was I'm pulling it up right now. Shooter McGavin put something up the other day that was terrific.
I don't know if I saw it.
Let me see if I can find it.
I don't know if I saw it. I saw everyone taking pictures in the Shooter McGavin in the Happy Gilmore jacket this week because it's the tour championship. So they had like the big yellow jacket.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Okay, here it is. So Michael Collins posted, yelling or saying Brooksie to Bryson DeChambeau will now be considered disrespectful from now on, can result in expulsion from a tournament. This directly from Commissioner Jay Monahan. It's become an issue of being disrespectful to the players in the game. Shooter McGavin responds, tour getting soft. Larson took my 9-iron out of my bag and bent it like a pretzel. What happened? The gallery and the security laughed in my face.
Perfect.
Do you follow him on
No.
Twitter? Anybody who doesn't, you need to follow Shooter McGavin. Like one of the ones before that was it said Belichick posts 53-man roster, and then it says Cam Newton, and then the video below that is during Happy Gilmore when he doesn't make the hockey team. They're like, "You sure I'm not on there?" Like, oh, better luck next year. It's terrible.
That's good stuff.
Oh, I love it.
All in good fun. So, who do we got? I know they started, but who's your favorite for the weekend? We should have started with that.
So here's where I was beginning. I was feeling Jordan Spieth coming out and playing well. I just felt like he was going to be that guy. But I actually, in my little group, I went with English.
Interesting pick.
I've not picked him as a whole this year.
Is this Survivor or just you haven't picked him?
I just haven't picked him.
Okay.
I haven't picked him, and I liked how he's been playing. And I was kind of like, again, not doing any of this based on the majors, obviously, because we did all of that. It's when Cantlay boned me was when I picked him. Yeah. But Harry English this week was just kind of the guy that I was like, you know what? I haven't picked him. He's been playing pretty solid golf. And I just didn't feel like picking any of the big guys. I certainly wasn't going to pick Cantlay. I'm definitely not picking Bryson or Koepka. So my thoughts were Spieth or English right now. I don't know where Spieth is right now.
I don't either. He started
5 under.
Yeah, I was going to say
he
top 10.
He finished 1 under on the day.
All right.
Harry's 8 under. He finished 4 under on the day. What's your guy?
I like Cam Smith. I mean, Cantlay having the lead is a big advantage, but Cam Smith has been playing really well, and he started at 5, I think.
He's also 2 under today. Yeah, he's 7 under right now.
Yeah. So
Cantlay's about to finish at 12, and Rahm's about to finish at 10.
Yeah. Rahm's a good, interesting pick, but he's been getting pretty angry. And I mean, angry John Rahm can play good golf, but he can also play bad golf like he did last weekend. He was getting too angry.
Yeah, here, let me see. What's our striking distance look like here? So at 12 under, really, I don't see anybody. Well, it depends if he falls apart. That's another conversation too, though.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you could have a day. I mean, guys are over par, right? Tony Finau's 2 over with 1 hole to play. So, like, Cantlay has a 2 over day, and then someone like English or Thomas has like a 4 under day.
Yep.
That's a six shot swing. That's a tie ball game, and then who knows what happens after that.
Yep, that's the truth.
So that could totally happen. I mean, pressure golf is it's like playoff hockey. Like literally anything could happen.
True.
You could score 3 goals in 2 minutes. You could drop 4 shots in 2 holes.
We also talk about how Stuart Sink is just a baller.
Yeah, man. What is he? 50? Is he 50?
I don't know.
Close to it.
He's got to be close though. But they showed a picture of him from 20 years ago. Stuart Ernest Sink.
What a name.
Born May 21st, 1973.
SEC as the initials. Wow. Look at that.
Huntsville, Alabama.
College football. Well, that was definitely by design then. College football country. Are you kidding me? Initials SEC.
He currently lives in Duluth, Georgia. So I don't know if he's a UGA guy. I don't know. I'd have to ask him. Yeah. Speaking of, we're on the topic. For those listening, I got my Tennessee shirt on.
I see that.
Vols play tonight. Bowling Green. Very long story as to why I'm a Tennessee fan, because as everybody has heard on here, I'm a New England diehard in every way. But as Tim can attest to, love Boston College, but that's our only college football team in the Northeast. And to be honest, I'm not devoted to them in any way. I have went to football camp there.
Yeah, my wife went to BC, but they're not. They were decent when they first moved to the ACC, and now it's just like
the Matty Ice days. The Matty Ice days, they were pretty solid. Yeah,
that's right.
I saw them beat Clemson in Clemson. They're in Death Valley. Crazy. Matt Ryan threw like a 70-yard pass opposite. It was crazy. It was awesome. I cheered for them that day. I was like 10, whatever it was. But, yeah, so
it's just tough. It's got to be tough to recruit, right? Like, can you imagine? Like, do you want to come to Boston, Mass, where it's going to be rainy and snowy and cold for 6 months, or do you want to go to Florida State or Florida or Clemson?
UCF, FAU, Clemson. Yeah. You've got so many schools down here that are all good at sports, and I get it. The SEC. Once you've been to an SEC football game, ain't no going back.
Yeah.
Just ain't no going back. So long story short, we as happens when drinking, when libations are introduced. I was out with my buddies in grad school, and this conversation came up. Like, hey, like, you don't have a college football team. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, we don't have anybody up north. Like, I'm not going to be a Boston College fan. And I'm surrounded by Southerners here. Yeah, I've got Florida State. I've got UCF. I've got the Gators. I've got Tennessee. Other buddies from Michigan fan.
Dude, I went to a wedding down there once for a cousin. And I remember it was on a Saturday in the fall. And we came out of the church and all of the uncles, there were like 8 guys, were standing around like one of those. It was, I don't know what year it was, maybe 2001. It was one of those little portable TVs. And they were just like, one guy had his trunk open and they were all standing around it watching the portable TV. It was college football Saturday. You had to watch.
It's religion.
Yeah.
Pure religion. So they were all out there. I was like, hey, whichever one of you guys can prove to me that I should cheer for your team, I'll cheer for them just like I cheer for the Pats, Bruins, Sox, and Celtics. Like, I'll be a diehard. I'll go full on and cheer for your team if you can prove it to me. Maybe drinking and saying that weren't the right things to do, but nonetheless, so my boy from school, who I'm still super close with, I'm going to see him this weekend. He takes me to Neyland Stadium. We go to Tennessee. We go to Knoxville. Nobody else did this. And all my buddies listening, this is all your fault why I'm a Tennessee fan. Took me to Knoxville. We watched them play LSU in a monsoon and had the time of our lives. They had a flyover. We had like dueling pianos at the tailgate, and there was like a horse trough of beer, and we're going like spot to spot, and people are like, hey, you want you a beer? Come get you a beer. Like, the most fun of our lives. Like, I had a blast. I was like, all right, I'm a Tennessee fan. And so I kept my promise, and here we are. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. That's it.
There we go. Excellent. Well, what else? Anything else?
What's going on in the world that we need to talk about? Obviously, this is a different strand of conversation. We normally talk about all of our normal stuff, but we'll get back to it eventually.
That's it. The world's going crazy, but it's all right. It'll all stabilize.
Oh, the world is crazy. Don't get me fired up. I don't need my blood pressure. My blood pressure was good today. I don't need it to spike through the roof anymore.
Good.
So how about that? Here, I got an idea for everybody. Be nice. Be kind. Don't be assholes to everybody. Someone disagrees with you. You know what? That's fine. The world goes around because people disagree with one another. That doesn't make him a jerk. Doesn't make him an asshole. Here's a tip. First concept of conflict resolution. It's not you versus me. It's you and I versus the problem, right? It's not, oh, well, Tim, you're an asshole. Tim's a nice guy. Maybe we disagree on some things. But if Tim and I disagree about something, let's talk about the thing and not yell at each other that we're both bad people. That is the world right now. Is I'm mad at you because you're a bad person because you believe this and I don't. Oh, okay. Good talk.
It's tough. It's tough. That's the Brooks and Bryson thing too. Neither one of them, I don't think, are bad people. They're just getting a little fired up in the heat of competition, you know?
Yeah. And let people get fired up. It's okay to disagree about things or be like, maybe you suck at golf. Ooh. That's your best one, huh? I suck at golf. I wish we could pull up the Jeopardy, Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL. Did you ever see that with Alex Trebek and oh my gosh, the British guy or the Scottish guy? Oh my gosh,
Sean Connery.
Connery. Blanking on his name. The guy that does him on those SNLs is the best. I don't like SNL anymore. I feel like the show's just not as funny as it used to be.
Yeah.
Their old shows with Sean Connery talking about Trebek's mom.
Some good stuff.
Hilarious. I might pull that up next time as like our intro.
Let's do it. We'll bring it in with that.
Oh, it's so good. The jokes.
We'll bring it out. We'll bring it out. We'll throw a clip on the end of this. Bring it out with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can. Matter of fact, let's go a little here. Let's go a little there. So this is SNL Jeopardy Mallard. This is the best. I just need the short. Oh, here it is. Hold on.
The suspense is building.
Can you hear it playing back? Is there sound? That's the key.
I don't hear anything right now.
I'm not playing anything right now.
Okay, good.
Hold on. Right.
I was gonna just edit the clip when I edit the podcast, but
I like that. Okay, that's a better idea.
We can throw that in here.
Because that way, if it doesn't work, I'm going to be upset that no one heard.
Yeah, we'll throw it. We'll throw it in on the end.
We'll toss it on the end. Nobody will get mad at us. That's just about it, people. You know how to find us. If you need something, shoot us a holler. Trivotto, TRIVOTTO.golf on the Instagrams and the book faces. Jackson.anchorforge for me on the Instagrams and all that. You guys need any help? Want to talk some shop? Or you disagree with the fact that golf should be this little mamby-pamby sport? Shoot us a message. Let us know. Anything else?
That's all I got.
That's it. Tim's got to go hang out with the wifey.
Time to go make dinner.
Swordfish for us tonight.
Excellent. Professional.
Yeah, I'm a pro. What can I say?
Love it. Well, enjoy.
All right, people. This episode will be out whenever it gets out. Need anything in the meantime, let us know. Otherwise, have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll be back next week talking about strength and power and mobility and how you should stop doing things that look like the golf swing in the gym.
Let's do it.
Out.
Peace.
Bye, finally, Sean Connery is also here. Let's move on to Double Jeopardy, where the categories...
Not so fast, Trebek.
I really thought that was going to work.
You were wrong, you mountebank. I pose a conundrum to you. A riddle, if you will.
I don't want to hear it.
What's the difference between you and a mallard with a cold? One's a sick duck. I can't remember how it ends, but your mother's a whore.